part of the reason why I don't like dungeon duos is I always get stuck with the person who sucks.
Jeff.
Or maybe it's just me, actually. Maybe that's sudden realization. Why do I always lose this?
Nintendo is known for games that bring people together, and these titles were two of the best parties on the GameCube. Today, Austin Hargrave, Jeff Fabre, Jared Knabenbauer, and Shane Gill join me, Forrest Lee, as we decide which of these games we'd rather go back to and party with. It's WarioWare Incorporated Mega Party Games and Mario Party 4, and this is Madness.
Welcome to the party game exhibition match of GameCube Madness. Today we're talking about Mario Party 4 and WarioWare. I forget the name of it exactly.
Mega Micro Games.
Thank you. It's a port of a game anyway, so like, should it even be on this?
Yes.
Bracket?
Well,
Yeah.
it was fun. You're the one that came up with this.
It has multiplayer content, not in the Game Boy Advance game.
Oh, so it's as valid as Sonic Adventure 2.
It's different.
Okay.
Well,
WarioWare is way better than Sonic Adventure.
No!
How are we starting this conversation like this, assuming WarioWare couldn't win? I'm not
Are
saying.
we trying to like stretch our WarioWare before we even discuss
this 1v1?
Yeah, that's 1v1.
No.
We're trying to stretch our WarioWare?
No, I'm just being a jerk.
Okay.
WarioWare's great.
I really like WarioWare.
Yeah, WarioWare as a franchise is actually really cool. Is there another micro game series kind of like that?
is this like 30-minute Hero? Is that what it's called?
There's like more or less knockoffs of it.
It was definitely the first.
Just like quick game, mini game things.
WarioWare is like a concept really kind of ahead of its time, almost, because like it's kind of like what mobile gaming, or at least part of what mobile gaming's evolved into, with these just like quick.
I would say it's better than most mobile games.
So yeah, not hard, but not just mobile games.
Yeah. They're bad though.
The WarioWare is so that WarioWare actually came out as a budget title for the GameCube.
That makes sense.
So whereas most new GameCube games were, I want to say $50, WarioWare came out at 30 because it was like it ported a lot of the Game Boy Advance stuff. So it was intentionally like a cheaper game, but still had like really fun multiplayer in it. And actually, and
it was kind of challenging in a unique way.
Even the single player is fun.
Yeah,
like just like playing through it, like switching off with your friends.
Yeah.
It was also a very funny game.
Yeah.
Like I think few other games have made me laugh as much as the WarioWare games.
That's true. Like there's no distinct art style. It has like has like anything is possible.
I was actually gonna say that's one of the things I really like about WarioWare. We've done some Let's Plays of WarioWare, and back then I was making the thumbnails, and there was always just like, which one of these crazy super images am I gonna use? Yeah. Like it was like Kid in a Candy Store, like which funny like weird art style do I work? I always thought it would be really fun to be an artist for the WarioWare games. Just like, oh, here's 3 games. I don't know how they did, but that's how I imagined it.
Nothing has to be cohesive.
Yeah. Here's 3 random games. Just make some. What does that look like? I don't know. Whatever you want. Like okay. Like they all look totally different. It's crazy.
Anyone have like a favorite particular multiplayer mode in WarioWare for GameCube?
They're not that memorable. Really? I like the multiplayer, but I can't remember the different modes.
So this is one of the things that I give WarioWare over Mario Party is that WarioWare has different ways of playing it, whereas Mario Party has
it's like the board. It's the board game.
But it's like the same mechanics.
The game is the game.
Yeah.
Or you can play the mini games alone usually.
So I liked WarioWare's. I think it was Jimmy the Disco Dancer's mode, where everyone, it was like all 4 players played the exact same minigame all at the same time. And it was more like an elimination mode, where you had like a crowd in front of you that represented like how many tries you had left. After like one person fails 3 times or whatever, then like they're out. So it's like a last man standing. Yeah. Another one, I can't remember the character. I want to say it was Orbit. It was,
a little alien.
Yeah, it was like a space mode where it's like in the cockpit of not quite like an R-wing or something, but something like similar to that. And like that one also really stood out to me. So that's one of the things I give WarioWare over Mario Party is just that it has different ways of playing.
I'd argue that the presentation of those different modes is better. Like we were saying, the different art styles. Yeah. Because like Mario Party is presented as a board game, which is cool, but like that's not exactly something you can't. Like you need the video game for.
It's more it flows better as a video game because you don't have to like set everything up like as an actual board game.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Well, they did make an actual Mario Party board game.
Did they actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen
the e-reader cards.
Oh, that's right. We should get that. And then potentially maybe record it and do a video for it.
Yeah. Comment down below if you'd like to see a NormalBoots play.
Well, like in terms of like the mini games themselves, what do you guys feel are like the better mini games? Because like there's a lot of like
between the two
probably like bad and like imbalanced mini games in like Mario Party, but in like WarioWare I don't necessarily feel that.
They're over so quick that like how can they be unbalanced?
They're micro games.
Yeah, they're micro games.
There's a lot more micro games in WarioWare that are fundamentally the same. Like press A at the right time.
That's true. It's just like it's like they're like very fundamental concepts. Like you're saying, like you just like press it or move it or whatever. Like you just bounce it. Like I don't know.
One big difference.
Yeah, bop it.
One big difference is WarioWare kind of just throws you into the micro game, and you have to work out what the game wants you to do while you're playing it. Whereas Mario Party explains the mini game before you go into it.
They give you like a fighting chance though.
Yeah, that's true. But it also kind of slows the pace down. I mean, we've all played a game of Mario Party where like one or two people don't know all their games, and it's like, all right, minigame. Okay, well.
That's such an elitist viewpoint, though, like, because, like, you're just like, I know the game, you don't, like, F you, like, well, come on.
I'm not saying that it's a down, I mean, obviously you let them learn. I'm just saying it's like, it kind of kills the momentum.
That's why they have the practice mode.
I'm saying it just kills the momentum.
Jeff is talking about are also the people who are like, we're playing a 50 turn game.
Well, yeah. I'm not being serious about it, though. I'm just calling him out for, like, nothing.
I do think there's a certain enjoyment out of the WarioWare micro games because you do have to discover how to play it as you're doing it.
Yeah, they force you to
just jump in.
It's reaction.
Yeah, if it's the first time you've ever seen it and you like figure it out, you're like, ha.
Yeah, it's really nice when you get that.
It's really satisfying if you go through like a whole set of like 10, like, and you're just like crushed it. Like even if it's like the first time you see it.
It's almost as if every micro game is like a little puzzle that has to be solved.
Yeah. Well, it's more like, it's less about the actual mini games as much as it is just sitting there and focusing and like, it's not so much like you said, it's just press A and you catch the thing. But it's just like
they mix it up.
You have such a small amount of time to like gauge
and the speed keeps increasing as well.
Yeah, and it's just like keep that going. You get like
the same every
poke
time.
or press, like whatever. Yeah, like you get minimal hints and it forces you to figure it out in like a really quickly, or you lose. And I think it's actually a pretty stark contrast to Mario Party, where it is like, you don't even jump from minigame to minigame. You play through the entire board and do this or that. Stars are involved. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna bring up though. It's like as like an experience though. There's like I think there's more of like a fluid experience with Mario Party because there's like an overarching objective that's taking place between the mini.
There's like a purpose tying it all together.
I don't agree with the term fluid because I would almost argue it's opposite. Because
I guess it's chaotic still, but like I mean they're both chaotic, but because anything can happen in Mario Party.
Yeah, that's right. Mario Party is slower paced.
Mario Party is definitely slower paced, but is that inherently bad?
I'm not saying that. I like slow paced games.
I think in terms of actual like quality of the mini games themselves, I think what WarioWare has going for it is like, I think of like the mini games I get excited for, and when it comes to WarioWare, it's all the like NES ones.
And that's just like the 9-volt stages.
Yeah, all the 9-volt levels are super cool because it's like, haha, NES game, I'm playing it again for 3 seconds at a time.
It's like, but it's true though, because like the what is that Wii U game, NES Remix? It's like that.
Yeah. Whereas Mario Party 4 just has some legitimately really good mini games. My absolute favorite mini game from Mario Party 4 was Dungeon Duos, because
people really like that.
It was a 2v2 one. Whereas more or less like asynchronous co-op get to the end of the level. Because a lot of times when it comes to like team games, like both players are more or less doing something at the same time or like doing something together. Whereas Dungeon Duo is like one person runs ahead, opens the door for another one doing one action. Then this person does another
flip the switch.
Yeah, so that had like a really cool, like we're doing this together, not just like doing the same action at the same time, don't screw up.
I feel like maybe part of the reason why I don't like Dungeon Duos is I always get stuck with the person who sucks.
Jeff.
Or maybe it's just me, actually. Maybe sudden realization. Why do I always lose this? So, it's probably their fault.
Yeah,
it's the DK curse, bro. Don't blame me for that. Come on.
Yeah, I think quality minigame wise, WarioWare's cool ones are just purely nostalgia ridden.
Yeah.
Whereas Mario Party just had like better mini games.
There's something to say though, and we were actually sort of talking about this. Maybe it was me and Jeff. I'm not sure who else was listening in. We were talking about board games and how it's fun to have long board games, but in between you like some little short ones. So you can just get in and get out real quick, and that's kind of how these games contrast. Where Mario Party's the long one, you could play a really long game, and even if you play a 20-turn game, it still could last a while.
Yeah, for every Monopoly, you need like a quick game of Uno.
Yeah,
or something like
Goldfish, bro.
I don't know if this is even worth bringing up, but I would rather play Mario Party single player than I would WarioWare. Because like the WarioWare GameCube one is like, if you don't play as multiplayer, don't bother. Whereas Mario Party single player still had like unlockables and story.
I think the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, the NPCs are terrible.
I think I agree with Jared.
I think WarioWare single player is still pretty intense and exciting. And
but that's the thing is like
acquire other players. Where I feel like Mario Party, who wants to sit there? I mean, I've done this a lot for footage. It's boring to play Mario Party by yourself against 3 computers.
If I was going to point at these two games and evaluate them as party games, it seems as though WarioWare is a single-player game that has been made into a party game, whereas Mario Party is just a party game that you can play single-player.
It's a party game that you can play single-player, but it still requires the other moving pieces of the NPCs.
Yeah, again, it could be like entirely moot point because they're still both party games.
Yeah.
I think that WarioWare has a much higher level of commitment because of how fast-paced it is. You have to really be like in the moment to play that game and like be concentrating on the game, whereas like Mario Party is a little bit more laid back.
Have some drinks with the boys.
Yeah, I was about to say Mario Party is definitely let's order a pizza and just chill out, and we're gonna have some beers.
Yeah, I can't imagine you perform well in WarioWare after
intoxicated.
A couple beers.
We should give it a try.
Yeah.
Comment if you'd like to see.
NormalBoots plays WarioWare drunk.
What about like characters and things like that? There's a lot of
Both have Wario.
They both have Wario, but they have a lot of unique characters that aren't seen anywhere else in Wario.
That's actually one thing I like about WarioWare.
I prefer the WarioWare version of Wario.
What?
Yeah.
No way! Original purple overalls, yellow shirt Wario land style. Get that like goggles bicycle bull out of my face.
He gets more character he gets more character development, quote unquote, in WarioWare. And
this is where we're arguing the character development of Wario.
Of Wario, yeah, dude, yeah. This is very important to a lot of people.
Garlic is in WarioWare.
I think of the cast,
Mona's the hottest.
She's like a high schooler.
I do like the random characters in WarioWare. Like, they're not important enough to show up as like Smash Bros. Characters or something. But like
trophy.
They can be trophies. They're great trophies. They're just interesting little characters, and I like how many there are. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't remember how many there are specifically in the GameCube version, but in the last like Wii U one, it's like there's like 20 freaking characters in this game.
I think I prefer the WarioWare cast just because with Mario Party, like it is Mario Party, but that could be any character you're playing. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't feel different when you jump into a game as Mario or Luigi.
Unless you're Donkey Kong.
Unless you're playing the cursed Donkey Kong character. Whereas when you're playing some characters mode in WarioWare.
Wasn't Mario Party 4 the last Mario Party for a while where you could actually play as Donkey Kong?
I think so, yeah.
No, yep. After that, they made him into his own space.
Yeah, he was like a zone space after that.
Yeah, during the dark time of Mario Party.
Yeah.
It started to go downhill after 4. Like
I honestly legitimately agree with that.
It wasn't bad at 5.
Like
people get mad at me when I say that.
Yeah.
It's like 8 was terrible.
People fondly remember the Wii one, and I don't like it was pretty
Yeah.
I mean, we're not really talking about that, but like at the same time, I feel obligated to mention. I feel obligated to mention that like 4 was still really solid.
Yeah. I still prefer 3, but 4 was maybe that's part of what I'll talk about. One of the things I don't like as much about 4 compared to like 2 and 3.
Sure.
A big part of it is I feel like the boards are just less memorable. I don't think the boards in Mario Party 4 are really that good. I mean,
they don't stand out as much as 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's like that one where you're in the like beach paradisey place and there's like, no, you can't go that way. Just like, that's annoying. I want to go that way. Like, I don't know. It's just like,
there's a lot of boards that mess with your like position a lot more instead of more like standard boards.
Yeah, and they do it in ways that aren't really that fun. It's like,
Like he's throwing bananas at you.
Oh yeah, yeah. You remember that one
50-50 chance?
Yes. Oh my god! Like you just go. Oh, I really hope that I don't slip on the banana, and then you get like 4 people in a row slip on the banana and go up, and they just like loop it around for like 10 freaking minutes, like waiting to get the first star.
RNG.
That's the chaos of Mario Party.
Yeah, but that's I don't know.
Like they started to go above and beyond with the RNG.
Yeah.
Like that's when it started to get worse.
I do think between the two, like when it comes to both multiplayer games and which one is more hype as it's Mario Party. Because like Mario Party has like a lot of really like kind of moments.
Like when you're getting the stars at the end.
Yeah, stars at the end, chance time, like booze going out, like
Bowser spaces.
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff is like.
I guess that comes down to WarioWare being more of a skill-based game.
Yeah,
it's a weird kind of. It's kind of a weird niche of skill, but yeah.
The hype moments in WarioWare are just like clearing sets of the levels, like and not dying.
Don't lose your momentum.
Like literally, like not dying.
It's like WarioWare. You just need confidence for like just like 3 straight minutes. Yeah, just like I can't like.
You just have to focus very hard.
Yeah, pizza's here. I can't think about that. I'm in this.
How many times in a row can you not screw up?
It's and it's fun. It's fun to do that. Like especially after you've been playing for a bit and you're feeling confident. But then they make it harder as you go, and it's like, well, now you don't have to press A just once. You have to press A and then press A again, which seems like, well, that sounds easy. But it's like you're so used to doing it the regular way, and then they cost you like
or the timing would go from you have this long to you have this long.
Yeah, like literally, you better do it right now. Like, or you're screwed.
Right.
Like,
not that there isn't skill in some of the Mario Party mini games, but yeah, I do think overall WarioWare is much more focused on it, whereas Mario Party has a certain randomness factor.
It's got a fair amount of random elements there.
Yeah.
I guess it builds suspense because you don't really know what's going to happen.
I don't want to discredit how funny of a game WarioWare is. Like playing just like with 4 friends, and it's just like genuinely like so many funny things can happen, especially if some of the people haven't played before. Which I guess is part of the problem with WarioWare is if you played it enough and you know all of the little micro games, then
you're just better.
Its charm. Yeah, it kind of loses its charm because it's like, okay, that's the one I do that.
But you can be good at the Mario Party mini games too.
True, but then it's not exactly the same because you could know exactly what to do in you know, Mushroom Mix-Up. That's not in 4, but you can know exactly what to do in Mushroom Mix-Up, but you could just mess up. Like, and I mean, it's the same with WarioWare, but it's like when all you have to do is press A. It's like you know exactly when to press A, so it kind of ruins the challenge of it.
WarioWare is definitely not a game that I would go back to.
Well, I would say that the skill is more important in Mario Party than it is in WarioWare, though. Because in WarioWare, you're just completing the sets of minigames, but the skill transfers better to like gameplay mechanics in Mario Party because it's like you get the coins if you win Mario Party, which is important.
I forgot about the whole economy system.
Yeah. I mean, and you get the stars at the end too. I forget exactly how the bonus stars are in 4. I think it's similar to 2 and 3. But like whoever wins the most mini games gets straight up gets a star. Like whoever gets the most coins in the mini games, something like that.
I think another really big thing with Mario Party versus WarioWare is that for the most part of WarioWare's different multiplayer modes, it's still just each person kind of doing their own thing. Whereas the Mario Party, there's a lot of diplomacy involved.
That's true. There's more interaction.
Yeah, it's like this guy's in first, let's screw him over. Or hey,
you make a fake alliance. That's the best thing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, dude,
you stole my start 35 turns ago.
Exactly. There's a lot of extra layers there. Where again, for the most part, in the WarioWare micro games, each person's kind of doing their own and trying their best.
You're not gonna go Game of Thrones on someone's ass.
Well, there's been plenty of times where I've been playing Mario Party. And I know there's no chance that I'm going to win, so I just try to screw over the person who's in first.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not usually.
No, but we try to screw you over because it's the most funny.
It is.
Well, and also there's like items that influence the board.
Yeah.
Right.
So like there's like you can get mushrooms, you can get magical lamps. I don't know if was magical lamps in 4? I think it was
3.
Right. Or was this 3?
No, it's in 4 too. He's really big.
It might as well have.
Yeah, he's like giant in that. It is in 4. I'm almost positive.
But you can manipulate like what's happening to give yourself advantages if you have the coins, if you've won the mini games.
Yeah. And it really does matter. Like the mini games, it's like easy to be like, oh, Mario Party's all luck. But I mean, if you're winning the mini games, like
you have money,
you can still get screwed.
Yeah,
but you have
the
money.
You can get someone can land on chance time and reverse your money, but you know,
dude, I hate it when my money gets reversed.
The best.
So we should start moving the final points in voting.
Okay,
sure. I don't think I still don't feel this is that hard to do. I think Wario Mega Micro Games is still like a pretty fun GameCube game in its own right, especially as a budget title and using a lot of GBA assets. But they're both party games, and which one's the better party game? It's really hard to top Mario Party. So I'm still gonna vote.
Name. Especially a good one.
I'm still gonna vote Mario Party 4. If it was like Mario Party like 7 or something, maybe I'd vote WarioWare. But 4 is still really, really good in the franchise. So I'm gonna vote Mario Party 4.
I'm not gonna echo what Jared said, but sort of flip it around. If this was WarioWare Smooth Moves,
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that
because you actually get up and do the stuff with the Wii remote, which adds a lot of extra humor to it.
Yeah,
it's hard to say what is technically the Game Boy Advance Mario or WarioWare is better than Mario Party 4, which is one of the better Mario Party games. So I mean, I like WarioWare, but Mario Party takes it. We're sweeping this, I think.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to these two games, it's basically the quality of the mini games, and I think Mario Party 4 has some of the best mini games in the series. Like I really like Book Squam, like when you're running through the shapes.
That's good.
The pages are turning.
Really heavy pages, dude.
Squishy.
Because the mini games are good, so good in Mario Party 4. I think I'm gonna have to go Mario Party 4.
Honestly, I'm probably gonna echo a lot of what these guys said, but as like a party game specifically, I think Mario Party does it a little bit better. It's a port game, also just not as fun in multiplayer as maybe single player, or at least like co-op. The games don't necessarily stand out as much to me either. I think that well, yeah, but like I think that the WarioWare games only got better over time, and Mario Party 4 is one of the better Mario Parties. So I think kind of for that reason, I just have to go with Mario Party as well.
WarioWare is such a cool, fun, colorful game, but
it doesn't have a lot of longevity.
Yeah, it's not exactly something that I'm itching to go back to. And also, it looks real weird. Seeing straight up like they didn't upscale the GBA stuff for the GameCube. It just looks weird. It's fun, but they're, like you said, they're better WarioWare games, and it's up against Mario Party, the party game. So yeah, Mario Party.
Bye bye.
Is this a clean sweep?
That was a clean sweep.
The first ever clean sweep?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many people like legitimately forgot about WarioWare even being a game on the GameCube.
It has a lot of cool stuff though, like
it's just like a thing you play maybe once with your friends and have a lot of fun.
Before we were,
you can play Mario Party any day of the week.
I'd forgotten about it before we put together the list for the vote.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like it.
Yeah, I can't imagine it was like high on anyone's like vote list or like top 10 or like this is the best Mario GameCube game. But
I'm surprised Mario Party 4 didn't make it on the actual bracket.
It was so close.
Yeah,
it was like number 17 or something.
Yeah.
Like
fun game though, really cool art style. Plural.
Yeah, switching from the 8-bit Mario sprite to a JPEG of a dog. That's
but it's funny.
Yeah.
Who do you think should have won? Let us know down below. And if you enjoyed this, remember to hit those like and subscribe buttons for new episodes of Madness every Tuesday and Thursday. We have one more exhibition match and a special surprise before the next season on Pokemon Evolution Line starts in mid-March.